This week we're kicking off a new series called Creative Profile and focusing on Joe Rohde. So Kongaloosh, Siva Ko, and show me your hands. Let's go. Welcome to Parkgoers Go, your go-to podcast for all things theme parks. My name is Dustin.
I'm Logan.
And I'm Nate.
And this week's episode will be the first of our Creatives Profile, where we bring attention to all those who help put the theme in theme park and bring the immersion to life. Tomorrow, September 10th, will be the birthday of the Imagineer extraordinaire, Joe Rohde. Or a little bit of history about Joe Rohde. The now Disney legend was born in Sacramento, California on September 10th, 1955, but was raised in Hawaii before returning to California and eventually got his bachelor's.
That's really cool because he also worked on Olani, which I don't know if you're going to
He did.
Anyway,
I did see that.
Continue.
Yep.
Now let's hijack it and
we'll
talk.
be talking about that. Well, anyways, he came back and got his bachelor's in fine arts, where he started teaching at a high school. And one of the students' fathers saw his work and was like, "You should come work for Disney."
I got a job in the model shop, and I started working. And my first job was on the Mexico Pavilion, and I developed the pyramid. When you go inside and you see the pyramid that's across the water, I worked on that. Some elements within the ride. Worked a lot with Herbie Ryman, who's an old Disney legend. And so I was there for a while doing a variety of things. As I said, I worked on the Mexico Pavilion. I worked on the Norway Pavilion.
And he would move on to work as the designer of the refurbished Disneyland's Fantasyland and on the film Captain EO. Before becoming
Captain EO.
Hooter. That's a reference for people who've seen the movie. That's a reference for the movie.
Yeah, that is lost on us. You just sound crazy.
People will get it. Those who know. Hooter. All right. And and the film Captain EO before becoming the lead designer of Animal Kingdom and the Hawaiian resort Olani. Now, unfortunately, he did retire from the Disney company in 2021. But fortunately, he returned this year. Yay!
Wait, is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was not in any of my
March.
research.
Yeah, he confirmed in March that he was coming back.
Wait,
but
do we know what he's coming back for? Sorry, I'm hijacking.
It's probably the other Pandora. That would be cool.
Well, no. You got to think about it. There's Pandora. There's
Animal
the
Kingdom expansion.
Animal Kingdom stuff. Yeah, and one thing that I did find out that I was going to bring up later during your section, but I'll bring it up now. Apparently, before he retired, he was the global creative leader of Marvel properties.
It's true. It's true. That's in my research.
Yeah, well, I said it now because my hand was forced.
I also had that in my research of Pandora.
In celebration of his return and his birthday, we will be focusing on 3 of his accomplishments: the Adventurers Club, Disney California Adventures Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and Animal Kingdom's Pandora, The World of Avatar.
The World of Avatar.
So, Dustin, why don't you take it away? Thanks.
Dustin, take it away.
Well, is there anything else we want to chat about? I mean, Joe Rohde's the coolest, right? He is.
He's okay.
Joe Rohde is on the top of my. If I wanted to meet an Imagineer, it would be Joe Rohde. He's like top of the mountain, top of Everest for me.
Right, and it like if you think about it, figureheads in the Disney company. When it comes to Imagineers, you could only name like maybe 4, right, off the top of your head that are currently active or that were active within the last like 10 years. And Joe Rohde has to be on the top of the list. I mean, there's a reason why people tend to know his name. And no, he just seems like the coolest guy. I had the opportunity to see him talk at a panel at D23. And
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what was really cool is that he was part of the Legends panel. And then after it was over and everybody started leaving, some people would walk up to the stage, and everybody left the stage except for Joe Rohde and Mark Henn. And they were just talking to people down in the front. By the time I walked up there, they were leaving because everybody else started swarming up there. And they're like, we got to get out of here. But I thought that was cool that he would take at least a little bit of time to talk to the people in the front row. So that was pretty neat.
Give the people what they want.
That's cute. I was watching one of his, like, I think I was watching the Imagineering story as, like, a refresher. And he said, like, when he was talking about how he approaches things, he said that he creates stories based, like, with physical or, like, with real world objects.
I'm a storyteller who works with real materials to tell stories. I don't write and I don't use film. My stories are created with real stuff.
And I feel like that is so present in, like, the stuff that
so
we're going
roadie.
That's what
so
I was
roadie.
gonna say.
Like, it's so not obvious, but, like, like, you can see it in the stuff that he does and the stuff that we're going to talk about. So I'm excited to talk about it because it's really cool.
He loves
Awesome.
nature.
He does love
does.
nature.
He loves nature and he loves to travel too. I think he loves culture in
He
general.
likes adventure.
He does. And
He does.
that great segue, because the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Adventurers Club.
I didn't get to say anything that I wanted to say. You guys
Okay,
hogged all the airtime.
We're so good at ruining segues. Logan, continue.
I was gonna say, I think his story is really cool. That's it. Like how he got to where he is. Well, I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship with people that had like, like their career trajectory. Like you wouldn't be able to really predict that he would be like this massive Disney legend and everything that he has done in his past when you're talking about like how he started out being like a teacher and stuff.
I taught for several years after I got out of college, and I think I was probably a little young to be teaching high school because I felt like I didn't have enough life experience to really be talking to people who were 3 years younger than me. So I went looking for this job, and at the time there was an executive, one of the chief executives, an engineer for Imagineering, who had come. I was teaching his kids in this high school, and he came and said, "Son, you're wasting your time here. You should be working for Walt Disney Imagineering." I thought, I'm ready to try something new. I'll put my portfolio together. I'll send it in there.
It's just pretty crazy. And I say I love, and I hate those stories because I love them because they give me hope, but I hate them because I feel like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like you can't replicate it. Yeah, I feel that.
Right. And then there's that earring too. Am I right?
What earring?
Shut up.
Well, he did tell, he has told this story multiple times about how he started with the earring.
So now we're going to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I've already played a clip for it in a past episode, the D23 one, but he basically were going to some other country and they were told not to promote the fact that they were Disney, but he was proud of the 5-year pin, so he put it in his ear where he already had a piercing, but it made the hole bigger, and then over time he would just add more and more stuff, so everywhere that he goes or travels, he gets a little memento to put in his ear.
What a rock star.
He is a Disney rock star.
And he loves adventure.
He loves adventure.
Oh, that's a great segue because I'm going to be talking about the Adventurers Club. So please, everybody gather around and listen to my voice as I take us back to 1984. Back in 1984, before Disney Springs in Florida was Disney Springs, it was a quiet little shopping area called Walt Disney World Village. But when Michael Eisner and Frank Wells came to power, they had another vision in mind. Their plan of attack was to keep people on property, cater to more than just children, and see what other companies were doing and do it 10 times bigger and harder. And that they did. After seeing the success of Church Street in Orlando City, they decided that Disney should have their own nightclub area, and thus Pleasure Island was born on May 1st, 1989. One of the clubs was a private club for world travelers and explorers set in 1937, known as
The Adventurers Club.
The idea was the brainchild of many people, but most prevalently Imagineer Roger Cox, who acted as the head writer, show producer, and show director, and our man Joe Rohde. who was the designer.
And towards the end of that period of time, we built the Adventurers Club, which was the first thing that really I was in charge of as a designer, was the Adventurers Club.
According to Craig McNair Wilson, who was one of the artistic directors involved in the club's creation, he credits the shared love of the world of the Pith helmet and all that circled around it. And he also credited Tamara, a live theatrical multi-room play in Los Angeles, as some of the inspirations. Wilson also referenced that Joe Rohde had a Sunday afternoon soiree in his backyard themed as the last days of Raj. The Adventurers Club was made up of 5 rooms that included multiple floors, a mezzanine, and a stage with a piano, where 9 shows would play and a minimum of 9 improvisational actors would walk around engaging with guests in character throughout each evening. The entire building was full of antiquities and random items from different parts of the world. According to Rohde at this year's D23, he said that as opposed to his Animal Kingdom work, where everything was brought from other countries to be culturally accurate, for the Adventurers Club, they just grabbed what they could find at local thrift stores. The Adventurers Club, along with Pleasure Island, would unfortunately close in 2008. References to it exist in the Jungle Cruise, Jacques Lindsay's Hangar Bar, Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, and the Skipper Canteen, and would be the precursor to the multi-attraction storyline of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Now, guys, if there was one thing that I could go back in time and experience that belongs to Disney, this would be at the top of my list. This seemed like just such a fun place.
I agree. I feel like it can still happen because when you were talking about this, I immediately thought about the Epcot and the Pirates Lounge coming to like Magic Kingdom. And I was like, ugh, I would love if they brought this back in the form of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I think it would be really cool. I'm actually sad that it's not there anymore.
This was one of Pleasure Island's opening day clubs, and throughout its whole run, a lot of the clubs would come and go, but this one would always just stand. Did I say that every night was New Year's Eve?
No, you didn't, but that sounds fun.
Does sound fun.
I would like to do a Pleasure Island episode at one point just to cover all the clubs, but one of the themes of Pleasure Island was that for all the clubs, every night was New Year's Eve, and as it got closer to midnight, they'd all do a giant countdown and they'd shoot off fireworks. The whole area sounded really cool.
Logan's looking it up and his jaw just dropped when he saw the pictures of the Adventurers Club.
That looks so cool.
It's awesome. There's a really nice video online. Now, mind you, this closed in the 90s, so the videos aren't going to be great, but it looks huge. It's really it's crazy.
We need more like themed bar spaces. Like
Yes.
Olga's, but bigger, you know? Because I don't like normal bars. I want to have fun when I go to a bar, and this is fun.
You see, I've gotten into this conversations like this with a ton of other people down in Florida, where you look at Trader Sam's, but either Trader Sam's. The thing is that the interiors are so small. And I keep on saying like, oh, I wish these were bigger, like more of an experience. But every person I talk to is like, no, I like how small it is. It's like, yeah, but the thing is that you have to wait in line to get in or get there super early. And then you're kind of just like pushed out because they need to get more people in.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they don't do big things. Exactly.
At Olga.
But a lot of the props were actually sold to cast members and gotten rid of. But there are some props that you can find in the Hangar Bar at Disney Springs currently. And in the Skipper Canteen, there is a dessert called the Congaloosh. The Congaloosh was their, like, one of the cries that they had, or club cheers or whatever you want to call it, which became very popular. And they had a lot of these kind of things. They had a motto where I think it was sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you, but always dress for the hunt. They had a song, and you would be inducted into this club, and you'd have to go through certain let's see if I remember it. I believe I remember the tune. It goes, marching along we're adventurers, singing the song of adventurers, up or down, north or east or west, and adventurer's life is the best. Kangaloosh. I believe that's how it goes. But it's funny.
Wait, hold
because
on. Let us
thank
applaud.
Encore.
No.
They're marching along, adventurers. So they would have a lot of improv actors walking around, but they all had set characters. Like I think I said, there were 9 characters that were just like always there. But they did have a Colonel Critchlaw.
Kermit?
No. Well, kind of, because he was a puppet, but he was supposed to be like a real person. And if you just watch videos of it, it's just so funny. The atmosphere is so cute. The piano that's on the stage looks like it was like carried in and then dropped. So it's at a slant. So it's like in the stage. It's just, it has so much personality. It's just it looked like it was so much fun.
What's in its spot now?
I don't know exactly where, but Paradiso and Hangar Bar. So that area. Yeah. And Logan, I don't know if you remember this, but we used to take the shuttle boat that would take you from one end of back then downtown Disney to the other, because they didn't have that bridge. And then we would just ride right past Pleasure Island. Anyways, but I think what's interesting is that he went from the small adventurers club as a designer, and then he was able to break out and become a lead designer. Break out and
Is that a segue I sense?
Yeah. So is there anything else anybody wants to say about the Adventurers Club? Logan.
No. Besides the fact that I would love to have something like that again.
Agreed. And like Nate said, I really hope that the Pirates Lounge reflects that a little bit. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that to break ground. Okay. Break out.
All right, I got
out of the ground. All right.
Speaking of breakouts, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Do a little echo and space noise.
Echo! Space noise! No space Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is the re-themed version of Tower of Terror in Disney's California Adventure. It is actually Joe Rohde's last project. Well,
lies.
It was his last project for the Disney parks before his retirement in 2021. It's a pretty interesting story, actually. So for those who don't know, Tower of Terror was a dark ride drop tower attraction. It walks on like an elevator system, and it pulls you up and down and gives you that thrill factor of dropping down an elevator shaft. But 2016 at San Diego Comic-Con, they announced that the Tower of Terror in California was going to be closed and then reimagined with the Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy IP. The timeline for this retheming was pretty crazy. The Tower of Terror closed in January 3rd of 2017, and with the team led by Joe Rohde and others, of course, it opened on May 27th, that same day. I mean, that same year. That was May 27th. Yeah, May 27th, that same year. So they had I was watching a documentary that they started talking about this project like 11 months before the opening day. So basically they broke ground again in January, and then 5 months later they were done.
So how about we convert Tower of Terror by Memorial Day? That's the same day I am opening Pandora, the World of Avatar. There's not a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time to do this job.
That's crazy to me. I mean, it's not the same as like building like an entire thing from scratch, but the amount of walk that they put into it to like where we see it now is kind of insane.
It's not that hard to get this to not look like a hotel anymore. It only looks like a hotel because of the superficial additions we put on it. If I remove those, it becomes anything.
Wait, but why did they do it that quick?
They did it that quick. Well,
to prove a point.
No, I mean what I was watching was that Disney really wanted to have a new, like a fresh ride in California Adventure by Memorial Day. And that was the reason why they were exploring options for that, like, you know, that 1 year turnaround time. The other reason why they wanted to do it, I think, with the Guardians gave it that extra motivation, is that they wanted to line it up with the release date of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which was coming out May 5th, 2017. And with the ride opening a couple weeks later, that's great PR.
They were in production, which meant there were cameras and actors ready. So we need to storyboard now, like now, in the next 3 weeks.
Gotcha. That makes sense. The synergy.
Yeah.
Synergy.
I mean, it's crazy tight. I mean, even 11 months is kind of a crazy tight, like, deadline to have literally no idea what you want to do into actually having, like, it come to fruition and open. It was the first Disney attraction based on the Marvel Comics characters or the Marvel IP, which Dustin has already mentioned. That Joe Rohde was, what was he again? What was the official title?
He was the global creative leader of Marvel property.
So he was really pioneering, in my opinion, he was pioneering this new era of, you know, introducing Marvel to the Disney parks. People were obviously very hesitant about Tower of Terror closing because it was such a fan favorite and, like, well-regarded success. I mean, after the one opened in Orlando, they popped up literally everywhere around the world. But Joe Rohde already proved himself with Animal Kingdom and the Avengers Club, so people, I think, were really excited when it was coming out. Some other cool things about the ride: Joe Rohde really wanted to bring, obviously, the spirit of Guardians of the Galaxy and that fun, you know, cheerful nature of the films. So something that they did, besides changing, obviously, the entire ride, is they changed the way that the ride functions.
We did not have time to modify the ride mechanism. Ride mechanism is exactly the same. Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is all aiming at this feeling of screamy fear ride. Not appropriate to Guardians of the Galaxy. We need a different emotion. We need laughter, and we need a gleeful kind of scream. We needed to change the physics of the up and down part. We had to gather together the original architects and designers who worked on this thing originally, and we are going to grill them like prisoners.
I call it, like, air time. So, you know, like, when you shoot up and then, like, you're starting to go down, like, your arms fly up and everything that you're holding kind of fly, like, anti-gravity feeling. They, like, re-engineered it so you get a lot more of that, and they wanted to, like, encourage that, like, tummy tickling feeling, or, like, that, like, bubbly feeling that you get when you're, like, suspended in air. And if you go on the ride in California, you definitely feel that, because that's my favorite part of the ride, especially if you have a water bottle tied to your fanny pack, because my water bottle was going wild on the ride.
And if you have a fanny pack.
And if you have a fanny pack. It's so much fun. And you see it too, like, with the way that the ride bobs up and down a lot. It's a completely different tone than the original Tower of Terror, which is very scary and very, like, tensing. Another cool thing about the ride, which makes it pretty unique, is that it has 6 different versions of the ride, not including the Halloween overlay. Normal operations, those 6 different versions that play, and they're on a randomized track, so you never really know which one you're gonna get. I haven't been on the original Tower of Terror because a certain somebody in this room never wants to go on it.
Yeah, I haven't been on either of them, so I don't really have much to say. I can't speak to it, but I do want to get on it, and I'm excited.
Wait, have you seen any of the videos, Logan?
Yeah.
If you're anxious to go on these types of rides, like, you know, the drop rides, Guardians is probably, like, the best version to go on because it's just so fun.
I would also say next time you guys go, just go in line on either ride, because the lines and the pre-shows are so cool, but the pre-show for the Guardians one is so good. Yeah, and then they have all those references in the rides too. Like, they got Figment, they got the original Yeti from Matterhorn,
and a ton of Marvel, like, comic Easter eggs and stuff too.
Well, there's this great picture. There's a great picture in the queue, and it's of the Collector playing chess with, what's Jeff Goldblum's character?
I don't know.
Jurassic Park.
I don't remember his character actually.
Well, it's them playing chess, but it's Jeff Goldblum's character flipping the table, and it's just the painting. I want that painting. I want the painting. It's fun.
Something else about that's cool about the ride is that the entire cast, besides Vin Diesel, as Groot, returned to reprise their roles for all the scenes that were done, including James Gunn. He directed all the scenes as well, and James Gunn is the director of all the Guardians of the Galaxy films, so that's really cool. But you know what's what's weird? I was looking this up, like researching Guardians of the Galaxy, and obviously stuff with like Avengers Campus came up. Did you know that the attraction, like Avengers campuses around the Disney parks, are not part of the MCU, and that they're actually technically supposed to be like their own universe?
Why do you say that?
Because it was written down somehow.
I
forget the actual
source.
Like I forget that. I probably should have written it on the source before I actually said it out loud. But
well, can I be honest though? That just, it seems like, why? Like, who cares? I mean, I'm not asking why the Little Mermaid is right next to Belle's Castle. You know what I mean? It just is a thing. I feel like they're trying to answer.
They love the multiverse stuff.
And they need to have,
the biggest cop out of storytelling, but yeah. I think they're trying to answer questions that nobody's asking, pretty much. Well, and that's the same thing that people have problems with the Galaxy's Edge too. Is that why can't I meet Darth Vader? And then the Disney's like, well, it's different timelines, but a lot of people don't care.
Yeah, but then
you're
meeting the Mandalorian right next to you're meeting Rey and stuff, which are completely different timelines as well. So it's funny. They pick and choose, but power to them.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't make everything. I hope in Star Wars they don't go like, oh, we found a wormhole that takes us back in time kind of thing. Because they need to be like, whatever. But you know what? If they do that, it'll open Pandora's box. Wait a second.
Speaking of what? Well, hold on. Did I talked about the opening.
It's too late.
Date.
I
know about the opening date of May 27, 2017, and that was actually so. Not only did he, did him and his team conceive the ride 11 months, and also broke ground and finished it within 5 months, but he was also doing all this while he was working on Pandora, the World of Avatar, which opened on the exact same day.
That was a better segue.
In 2017?
Yeah.
It's been that long?
Yeah. But isn't that crazy?
Avatar was not a quick turnaround, but before we get into that, I'll do just a little bit of history, just a little bit. Can't help myself. Conversations around bringing Avatar to the parks began in early 2011 when James Cameron approached Disney with the idea of having an Avatar ride at the parks, or really an attraction. Their discussions originally centered on bringing some type of attraction to Hollywood studios along the lines of a feature or something occurring in the backlot tour. Tom Staggs, the then COO, suggested bringing in Pandora as an entire land at Animal Kingdom. By September 2011, Disney, Lightstorm Entertainment, which is James Cameron's studio, and 20th Century Fox announced publicly of their deal and the new Avatar-themed land. They showcased the first look of the land in October 2013 at Japan D23. It wasn't until May 27, 2017 that Pandora had its first official opening day. Moving on to the big guy who helped make it happen, Joe Rohde. He was a creative executive of Disney Animal Kingdom and acting creative director for the Pandora project, alongside creative consultants James Cameron and John Lindau, who was one of the Avatar producers. Construction of Pandora marked the end of Camp Mini Mickey, which was a rustic summer camp built as a temporary placeholder, as Beastly Kingdom was intended to be built there. The team wanted to create an emphasis on strong themes of conservation and environmental stewardship that was seen in Avatar. Tim Warzeka, an Imagineering project manager that worked on Pandora, described the land as focusing on the people, environment, culture, animals, and beauty of the world. Rohde wanted to keep the park established values to the forefront while designing this land.
One of the core ideas of Disney's Animal Kingdom is this notion of the intrinsic value of nature. The idea that nature is a value that can't be substituted, it can't be altered. The value of nature is supreme. A second idea that lies underneath Animal Kingdom is this notion of transformation through adventure. The idea that adventure is not only physical, but developmental. There are several things we're doing in the world of Pandora. One of them is, of course, all the stories are your personal adventures. We're not really telling you the story of something that happened to somebody else. But more than that, every event that happens on Pandora, every animal you see, every plant you see, the things that happen to you, those are all tied to real things on planet Earth. So you can learn about issues and events on Earth from the things you see and experience on Pandora. If you think about intrinsic value of nature, transformation through adventure, personal call to action, these are the values of Animal Kingdom. If you say them again, those are the themes of the film Avatar. So Avatar and Animal Kingdom will nest into each other, I think, very, very neatly, and Avatar can become a fantastic anchor in the public mind for the rest of Animal Kingdom.
I'm gonna cry. That was a very cute quote. Who said that?
Quote. Joe.
Joe. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Who
when
said that? Joe Rohde.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. When I said before how he like creates stories with like real concrete stuff and like objects and things like that to tell stories. He was even able to do that for a land based on a fictional franchise. He's amazing. He's amazing.
The team decided to set the timeline a generation after the conflict between the Na'vi and the RDA. In this timeline, the Na'vi and the humans achieve peace, and the Alpha Centauri Expeditions, or ACE, partnered with the Na'vi to bring Pandora as a destination for ecotourism and scientific research. Rohde admitted difficulty in adapting the locations into physicality, with Pandora solely portrayed by CGI. So they adapted the concept art and digital designs from the film and expanded on it, citing there is not enough details in the images for physical building. Knowing the main feature will be the Valley of Moara and the floating mountains, designers were sent to Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in China to study the jagged terrain of Wuliang region. The foundation of the floating mountains took a year to complete. Imagineers created 20 species of Pandorian flora exclusive for the lands, getting inspiration from the foliage in Hawaii. The real plants were mixed with the Pandora flora, each plant requiring its own concealed control box to create illumination during the night. The plants also responded to physical interactions from the new sensory tech that was developed by Disney Research.
Not to be dramatic, but
I think this is the most incredible story I've ever heard.
No. But the floating mountains, when we went to Disney World for the first time together,
Cried.
I was actually close to tears. The first park we went to was Animal Kingdom, and the first land we went to was Pandora. Probably could have, if I was in the right state of mind, I probably would have cried seeing the floating mountains.
Which was more impactful to you, seeing the floating mountains for the first time or seeing the Millennium Falcon for the first time?
The floating mountains.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have an emotional attachment to Avatar either, but the Avatar films move me more than Star Wars. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would say for me, visually, just like right away, I think that the Pandora scenery I prefer over Black Spire, but I guess for sentimental reasons, I definitely felt more seeing the Millennium Falcon. But
I didn't.
No.
It was really, really cool, but definitely the Avatar world is like, I just love Avatar so much. I can watch that all the time.
Yeah, because Galaxy's Edge wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
No, I still
It's
love
also
Galaxy's
weird.
Edge. I just don't want to. I don't have the urge to go watch Star Wars after I visit Galaxy's Edge.
Correct. But also what I think is odd, not to make this all about Galaxy's Edge, but I find it weird that they made the rocks behind the Millennium Falcon like the same color as the Millennium Falcon. Just saying. All right, proceed.
Thank you. The land is home to 2 attractions, Avatar Flight of Passage and Na'vi River Journey. Both rides immersing you into the world of Pandora and the Na'vi, bringing that beauty of the untouched natural world around you. Is it Rohde?
It's Joe Rohde, yeah.
Rohde, yeah. Have I been saying Road?
I don't know.
You have, and we've just been rolling our eyes. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
well,
I'm
if I
pretty
did
sure
say
you've been saying Rohde.
change it with Rohde, 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 Rohde. Take any of those.
He's just going to
Okay.
leave that clip in
I know.
as it is.
I know, he's so annoying.
Probably. Rohde.
Rohde says Animal Kingdom is a place about the kind of realism that derives from those animals. We really want to live to that state of realism in the detail to complete the immersion, which is part of the signature of that park. We really want to live up to that state of realism, to the detail, to the complete immersion, which is a part of the signature of that park, to the sense that these are the events that are really happening to you, that it is your adventure. When we translate that into the world of Avatar, it presents a whole new series of technical challenges because of the very nature of that world itself. This land also has 2 entertainment opportunities of the Suwatu Waya Navi drum ceremony.
That is actually pretty cool. I've seen that.
And a Pandora utility suit where a scientist wearing an AMP mech suit interacts with guests and educates them about Pandora. That I have not seen, and it sounds
Have you
so
not?
cool. No, I haven't.
Oh, I've seen that multiple times.
Is it
is
cool?
really cool.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
it like
I
the
mean, it
actual
looks-
suit, like the big suit that they...
Yeah, think of the Transformers meet and greet at Universal. Yeah, it's similar to that, except for you could see the person inside.
But the suit is the thing that they fight,
yes,
or like they fight
yes, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
But it's
Major
not like the
AVP
size of the
vibes?
ones from the
Yeah, I was going to say, it
movies.
reminds me
It's-
just like Aliens.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. It's just like that. It is really cool. But
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The team did not cut corners building and designing Pandora, even down to the food. The land has 2 food spots, the Satuli Canteen, which is a quick service restaurant featuring the very popular cheeseburger steamed pods, and the blueberry cream cheese mousse. Most meals here coming with the crunchy vegetable slaw and the boba balls, bringing that element of otherworldliness to the dish. And then we have Pongu Pongu, which is a snack shack featuring unique beverages like the Night Blossom, which has layers of apple, desert pear fruit topped with the boba balls, and snacks such as the Navi-sized pretzel, and Pongu Lumpia, which is a pineapple cream cheese spring roll.
I'm sorry. Did you just refer to coleslaw as an otherworldliness?
A crunchy vegetable
Because-
slaw.
Every time I go to a cookout, it always takes me right somewhere else.
It's not coleslaw. It's like the chunk. It's like the chips. It's like vegetable. What are the veggie straws?
Yeah.
I understand
It's not
what
like
you're saying.
it's not like
Yeah.
coleslaw that you chew and you crunches. It's like an actual. It's like that. Yeah.
I understand now.
And
No,
the
that makes
boba.
sense.
The boba, too, adds it. The Night Blossom, by the way, everyone. The Night Blossom at Pongu Pongu. 10 out of 10.
I say that the blueberry cream cheese mousse thing is my favorite one.
But no, their food is so good. So this is what's crazy, though, is that saying that in Animal Kingdom. Because Animal Kingdom has just such good food in general that to say, oh, no, this one's really good, I feel like is saying something.
The first time that we went there and then I got the blueberry cream cheese mousse, it is so pretty and nicely done. And so Avatar. Like when you're looking at it, I'm just like, yep.
So roadie.
Like I would
That's
guess
so
where
roadie.
that's from and I would get it every time.
Just to talk about food and actually Food Pandora and Joe Rohde, did you know that I own a piece of art from Joe Rohde?
Is it a piece of food that he bit out of, perhaps?
No. So right outside of Pandora, the entrance near the Pizzafari, so like right when you walk into the park, there's a restaurant called Tiffin's. That is it's a pretty pricey restaurant, but it's actually really nice. And when you walk in there, you can see a lot of Joe Rohde's art. And then when you actually eat there, they give you a little piece of his art so that you can take it home. So that's actually a really good place to eat too. Their food's really
Good churros.
And just a fun fact to close us out. Pandora is the first land of Disney history, unless somebody tells me otherwise. This is what I have discovered in my research. That does not include marquees, Disney merch, or images of Mickey himself. So you are completely immersed in Pandora and the Na'vi people while you are in the Pandora land.
I'd say that's correct. I mean,
Love
they do
that.
have the wait time signs, but I don't.
Yeah, but they're
I
not the
wouldn't consider
marquees,
that a
and they're in
marquee.
Na'vi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I guess Galaxy's Edge is the only one that really does that as well.
I wonder if there is Mickey items in there.
So when I worked down at Disney, I was there when this or this land opened. And I remember there was very strict rules when it came to the merchandise that no outside Disney stuff could be sold inside, but also that no inside merchandise could be sold outside. That lasted all of, I think, 1 year before you started seeing all this Pandora stuff outside that was supposed to be exclusively in the land. So that was a very interesting time. And another thing that was interesting about it was that one of the magical things about Pandora is that at night there was bioluminescence so that you could see it, right? But the park wasn't open that late. So because of Pandora, they created a thing for the Kilimanjaro Safari where they created this giant LED screen that was supposed to replicate sunset so that the animals would think that the sun was coming up so that they'd actually come out when you rode the Kilimanjaro Safari. And I remember riding that and thinking I thought it looked pretty good for an LED, like a giant LED screen. It looked like a
Where
sunset.
is it?
This was on the Kilimanjaro ride. When
It's
the big,
it's there now?
I don't think
I've
so,
never
no.
noticed an LED. Oh, okay.
No. I don't think it's there now. But it was pretty well hidden during the day. I think it was just like you could see it through the foliage. But yeah, because of that, they opened it up later, and then they also added that nighttime show, Rivers of Light, which if you don't remember it, don't feel bad because it was only there for like a year. But just everything kind of circled around this whole thing that Pandora had a glow in the dark paint that you could see, and then they changed the whole outlay of everything else so that people could stay later and then go to the parks, which I will say that was the best time to ride Everest because A, it was in the dark, but B, no lines ever. And that was a really cool time. But then they got rid of the LED screen in the other one, and I don't know how late they open now, but I would assume that you could still see the bioluminescence that they prepped for it. But that land is something else, I will say. And I'm super excited for that new one. If it lives up to the concept art, geez. Talk about ambitious for a land. I mean, you see that kind of detail on a whole park, but this is a land in an already established theme park. It's going to be cool.
I can't wait for everything, but especially Avatar. It's going to be so good. So good.
But all right, I guess we could do closing remarks about Joe Rohde. Any fun facts?
Love
anything you
him.
want to talk about?
I don't have any fun facts, but he is a super cool guy. It's really interesting to be able to do more research on people as you especially more of those more renowned, I guess, Imagineers that had so much impact in the things that we love all the time. And it is pretty crazy. It's I was going to say something earlier. I don't remember where, but I think when you were talking about the not seeing things inside certain or outside certain lands and stuff, I can't imagine all the different thoughts and things that they thought of and implemented within Magic Kingdom and Pandora and Animal Kingdom, all over the place that we don't know about, but we also don't notice because they did whatever it is that they did to make sure that you feel like you are completely immersed within this one single section of the land or area. Because that's not even something that I would even just what I guess really what I said of there is no Disney stuff within it. That's not something that I would consciously be wait, where's Mickey? Mickey's not in this shop,
gift shop
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember. But if I saw Mickey in the gift shop, I'd be like, oh, like I feel like it would take me out of it, even if he was like, if they made him like a
Not be Mickey.
Yeah, that might be kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
what's funny?
Yeah.
What's funny is that they did. That was like the number one critique when Disney California Adventure came out. Was that they're like, there's nothing Mickey here. But to your point, I mean, it's just a land. So I feel like that is something that you could more or less get away with, is not seeing Mickey Mouse in one land. But I feel like besides the front of the park, you don't really see him throughout the whole Animal Kingdom, except for in that one like graffiti part in the Africa section where it's just like a poorly drawn Mickey. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, but everything else is so like distinctly Disney that it's like, it kind of takes me back to like the Tokyo discussion or Tokyo Disney Sea discussion, where it's like there's so many things that are not distinctly Disney that you feel like you don't really feel the magic all that much. But then when something hits, you're like, oh, this is Disney. But I mean, granted, Pandora and Avatar isn't Disney either. Like, it's not something that you would associate to Disney. Well, now we do. But when it first came out, I'm not thinking like, throw this in a park. I mean, I am, because I think it's incredible, and here we are. But,
right.
Yeah, they did a great, I mean, obviously they did a great job. I always say jaw dropping. I need to figure out, that's going to be my next task, is to find out other words to describe the feeling of just being in awe of what everyone is able to accomplish and what people
Pants
can produce.
splitting.
It's so crazy. Pants splitting. So he said, my pants are split.
My pants
Tell
split so
you.
hard.
It's crazy. And even just organizing people to be able to produce something like this is mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, and okay, so these creatives profiles that we'll be doing, it's funny because the original idea was to bring attention to those who haven't had a lot of attention, but we picked like the most prolific.
And then he said, let's do Joe Rohde.
Well, it happened that his birthday was at the same time, which kind of is the thing that triggered the whole idea. But it's funny because I don't think, besides going all the way back to like Mark Davis or Tony Baxter, I can't think of any Imagineer working now that he's back, but working now that if you hear his name, you know it's going to be quality work. And, he's just a crazy reliable guy.
I heard, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, this was our first episode of Creatives Profile, and we covered the great Joe Rohde. Join us next Monday for our next episode. But just to send you guys off, I don't know if you guys know this, but Joe Rohde is not only this great designer and creator of all these different rides, but he is also very much involved in the, I guess you could call it the face of these rides, even ones that he doesn't particularly have a hand in, one of which is the Tower of Terror in Japan, where he is Harrison Hightower III. His face is used for all the things, and then they filmed him on the ride. But also, way back in the day in the Imagination Pavilion, there was a thing called ImageWorks, and Joe Rohde actually donned the beard and top hat and played the Dreamfinder. So I'm going to leave you guys with Joe Rohde as the Dreamfinder, and we will see you guys in the parks.
With the help of this magical blue stage and your imagination, we're going to travel back to the days of the Old West. Bravo! Nice performance! I bet there's a couple of future film stars in the group. Thank you very much. And now, if you'll kindly step off stage to your left, I'll get things ready for our next performance.